Title: My fiancé said, "My dad needs to test drive your new Audi for a month. Show him some respect." I replied, "Of course." Then I reported the car stolen when he didn't return it in 24 hours. Start. He was handcuffed on the side of the highway when I arrived. Blue and red lights painted his face like a bad omen, and his daughter, my fiancée, stood beside me, trembling. She didn't know yet. She thought I was there to help her father. I wasn't. I was there to finish what they started. 2 weeks earlier, I was still the fool who believed in loyalty. I had just bought the Audi, metallic gray, pristine, the kind of car that makes silence feel expensive. She was there when I picked it up, her hand on my arm, smiling for selfies. Her father clapped my back, that false warmth in his palm. "You're moving up in life, son," he said. "Proud of you." I wanted his approval then. I thought marrying his daughter meant being accepted by the kind of man who measured worth in horsepower and brand names. So when she said, "My dad needs to test drive your new Audi for a month, show him some respect," I smiled. I said, "Of course." That was my first mistake. He took the keys with a grin, the kind that hides something. I didn't see it then. I wanted to believe this was family. The first 24 hours passed. No message, no return. I called, straight to voicemail. Texted, no reply. By the second day, she said he was busy. By the third, she stopped answering altogether. A lie doesn't rot immediately. It ferments, slowly. You start smelling it before you see it. So I checked his social media. There he was, at a country club 2 hours away, my car gleaming in the background of his photo, his hand resting on the hood like he owned it. Caption: "Good things come to those who hustle." That's when the switch flipped. The pain was sharp but brief, like a wire snapping. What followed wasn't anger, it was calculation. I waited 3 days before filing the report. Claimed the car had been stolen. Provided the license plate, VIN, and photo evidence. Spoke calmly, clearly, like a man robbed by a stranger. The officer nodded. "We'll keep you updated." I thanked him, walked out. Then I watched everything unfold from a distance. I knew the car's location from the tracker hidden in the chassis, a little aftermarket add-on he didn't know about. It showed up every night at the same gated address, a house I didn't recognize. When I drove by, I saw her car parked outside too. That was the night I stopped being the victim. The plan came together like clockwork. Step 1, collect proof. Step 2, set the trap. Step 3, make it look effortless. I started by visiting the dealership, claiming the car had a potential mechanical issue and asking for maintenance records. Standard request, since it was under warranty. Turns out, her father had brought it in for routine service the previous week and listed himself as the owner. Changed the mailing address, signed my name with shaky confidence. Perfect. Forgery, identity theft, possession of stolen property, all wrapped in a shiny Audi. I printed everything: photos, signatures, tracker logs, timestamps. Then I made the call to the detective handling my stolen car. Told him I had a solid lead. By morning, they had a warrant. They pulled him over at noon, halfway between his mistress's house and the country club. He looked confused when they surrounded him, like a man who's been living inside his own lie too long. When the officer asked for registration, he reached into the glove box and froze. My name was still on the document, the car still under my insurance, the tracker blinking underneath the seat. He tried to explain, said it was a misunderstanding, that his soon-to-be son-in-law had loaned it to him. They cuffed him before he finished the sentence. She called me 10 minutes later, crying. "They arrested my dad! You have to help!" I told her I'd meet her there. And that's how we ended up standing by the highway, wind slicing between us, the sound of my car idling behind the flashing lights. She ran to him when they brought him out. He wouldn't look at her, just glared at me, eyes burning with the realization that he'd underestimated me. I approached slowly, calm. The officer handed me the keys, confirming ownership. "Thank you," I said, pocketing them. "I'll take it from here." She turned to me, mascara streaked down her cheeks. You reported it stolen? I met her eyes. I did, because it was. She opened her mouth to argue, but the words died when she saw the paperwork in my hand. The service records, his forged signature, the photos. Every lie laid out in black and white. Her father shouted something about loyalty, about family, but the sirens drowned him out as they took him away. That night, she came to my apartment, tried to explain, said she didn't know he was using it, said she thought he was testing it for business reasons. I listened, quiet, unmoved. Then I asked her one question. When you stopped answering my calls, whose idea was that? Her silence was my answer. I walked her to the door. She cried again, said she'd make it right. You already did, I said. She didn't understand what I meant. Not then. 3 days later, her father's charges hit the local news. Fraud, grand theft auto, forgery. Her name surfaced too, listed as a co-signer on the fake ownership transfer. Whether she knew or not didn't matter. Paper trails don't lie. I made sure the dealership received the files anonymously. The story spread fast. Her family name, once polished and proud, dragged through every headline. I watched it unfold from my couch, a drink in hand, my car parked safely below. Justice doesn't always need noise. Sometimes it's a quiet signature, a calm phone call, a man pretending to be naive until the right moment. When she finally texted me again, weeks later, it was just one line. Was it worth it? I looked out at the Audi glinting under the streetlight. Every second, I typed back. Then I blocked her number. People think revenge is loud, explosive, bloody. They're wrong. Real revenge is silent, methodical. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And by the time they hear it, it's already over.